Right, all right. Hey guys. Okay, so this is going to be a little different kind of a collective message, and I promised that I would do this. And I was trying to get to it last night, and I spent considerable time looking for the Aries backdrop, and I couldn't find it. And sorry, I'm still unpacking, believe it or not. And so finally I was like, today I can't fail to do this one. I had a special request from several people that all were hoping to get a message about what does a spirit animal or pet want to convey. And I said, oh, I will get to it. And I tried last night, and then I had to save. I thought it would have been nice to use a backdrop where I have Aries on the back, but I just couldn't find it. So this came to the surface first as I was rummaging through my various backdrops, and I was like, okay, we'll go horses, as long as it's animals. And I do love this particular backdrop. I love the sense of freedom that goes with this, so maybe that'll factor in. But by the way, shout out to Soul Love, Escar, Signs and Sinks. Those are three names that I know all wanted a message from a spirit animal or pet. I'm sure there was probably more, so forgive me if I didn't list your name and you had requested this. But by the way, you guys will notice that I will try to start integrating in a couple of requests for like these collective messages or styles. Later tonight, I will be live and we'll do a typical collective message that's more love related, but this is from the animals. Hi guys, so great to see everybody. AC, first in the house, babe. Caitlin B, Robin, Tara, Amanda Curry, G, Flower, Lori. Thank you guys so much. Caitlin B, you guys, Ken, hi. So nice to see you all. All right, so first off, message coming in from a spirit animal or pet. We've got the curiosity of somatics. So we've got this page of pentacles here. We have a king of cups, and then we have the five of wands here. And by the way, some of the animals very heavily represented are the mice, which can sometimes the mice can represent worries. So the spirit animal might be saying, if you start to worry as you're seeing other people's life stories, try not to worry so much. Life can change on a dime. You never know who we're going to encounter, who we're going to start talking to. Dolphins are very chatty. They're also very passionate, very intelligent as well. We do have this King of Cups that seems to come in out of nowhere. And then also, I kind of feel like we have a spirit animal that is kind of like nudging our character not to be so analytical or so worried about things, almost like they've been putting more pressure on themselves than is necessary, because this is a card of analyzing. And we see these oh God, I don't know if these are, it's one of the African species, I think, of the, not quite gazelle, but like I think they're in the sheep family, but I can't think of their name right now. I'm so sorry. But you see they're locking horns a little bit. It feels like we have a character who sometimes worries more than they should or analyzes things more than they should. About themselves, about their own worthiness or something. And it just kind of says that, if anything, the spirit animal might be saying, have a more lighthearted approach. Don't worry too much. Don't analyze too much. Just let life flow. And maybe that goes nicely with these horses that are running. Our whole life is in motion. The planet that we're on is spinning. Nothing is stagnant. Our body, even when we're asleep at night, we think we're resting. There's so many processes going on, repair processes. There's never a time when our body isn't busily, recalibrating, isn't busily like creating new red blood cells, having some cells, die off, regenerating, healing. There's never a time when we aren't actually still in motion. So some things we don't have to overthink. Just keep moving forward. There is maybe with this backdrop also, there's that energy of like, oh God, what's that song? Roll down the window, let the wind blow through your hair. Oh God, I can't think who sings it. It's a man singing it in my head. I also heard Rod Stewart's "And a Wild Horse Runs Free Forever." So there is a strong sense of like, lighten up, let the wind blow through our hair, let life be less stressful. And it doesn't mean don't think about things, but it says don't obsess about things. So I don't know if someone's spirit animal has noticed that we have a character who's getting kind of in a rut. Animals are great at reminding us that, if you live in accordance with nature, then they know seasons come and change, food supplies change. I mean, birds know to migrate at different times. Like, they're always about, like, well, of course we move with the weather patterns, we move with the environment, we move where the food is, we go where the right temperature is. And animals just accept it and go with it. And I kind of think that that's what the spirit animal is saying, is accept it and go with it. Don't worry too much. If somebody leaves your life, even somebody that you loved, I mean, this might be in direct disagreement with what, like, humans tend to think. Usually we go, oh, let me think about what did I learn from that. And the animal says, don't worry about it. Sometimes people come into our life and then sometimes they have to go again. And then sometimes they come back like a bird. Other times we were supposed to move on. Life keeps on rolling. Don't stay in one spot. And also be joyful and enjoy the being present. Enjoy the moments that the food is good and the air is flowing and you have the freedom to run and you're in, beautiful, good condition. Like, enjoy laying in the sun when you can. Enjoy these things and don't think too much or too heavily about every bit of the minutia. And don't get lost in over assessing and analyzing. It's interesting because this is directly in opposition to the messages that oftentimes we get about, like, figure out what the lesson was so then you can take something with you and leave. And the animals are like, you already ate the food. Food's all gone. Keep going. Go find more food. The love is gone, or the lover, you had a good time with them. But guess what? There's going to be another lover up ahead. So just kind of roll with it. Don't spend too much time thinking about it. Honestly, it's kind of a refreshing message. I'm not going to lie. We have an ace of feelings, which is that ace of cups. There's also something about just, like, totally embrace the fact that you're allowed to enjoy your life. You're allowed to fill your own cup. Animals are not exactly going to be all about, hey, did you get to eat? Did you get to eat? I mean, obviously, like, mothers feed their young. Animals want the species to survive. It's in their instinct. And certainly if you look at a lot of animals, you see them caring for their young, and it's so sweet and it's so beautiful. You think of a mama cat, taking such good care of her babies and stuff. But when it comes to, like, their needs still have to be met, and even a mama knows to, like, I'm going to go get away from the babies and not just nurse them nonstop. They'll be fine without me for a little bit. I need to go eat and I need to rest from the babies, and I'm going to go lay in the sun while they stay in their little kitten box, and I'll come back to them later. They'll be fine without me for 5 minutes. It feels like even then there's, like, a nice balance because self-preservation is important, and animals have that instinct. I just kind of think that this might be a character who's being encouraged by their spirit animal or by their pet. Hey, notice what I do. I kind of take care of some of my needs. You're allowed to do that too, I mean, obviously not to the exclusion of not taking care of your children or, your responsibilities, but to make sure that your needs matter too. It's about balance. Or if this is somebody totally single and has no other responsibilities, it's like, when's the last time you just did what you needed to make yourself happy? When's the last time you laid in the sun, figuratively speaking? This is kind of a very, like, encouraging message. I kind of feel like the spirit animal is suggesting to a character, lighten up, have a little bit more fun. It's okay to keep your life moving. You don't have to sit and contemplate for 3 years and say, I have now this huge healing journey because I loved somebody and maybe they stayed in my life, maybe not. Oh my God, let me rack myself with guilt or worry that maybe there's something wrong with me and I have to over evaluate why it didn't work out and what is missing in me and what did I take away from this. The animal says, maybe you just had an experience. That's it. It was just an experience, just like standing there at the top of a mountain and feeling the wind blow over you and smelling the wind, and it was really nice, and eating some tasty grass, and then you moved on to another pasture. It kind of feels like it's simplifying things and making it less, like, guilt-ridden. Us humans are good at complicating things. So kind of a lovely message. I think the reason I'm leaning toward removing stress and letting go is because the mice represent stress and they can nibble away at our peace of mind. And if that's what a spirit animal is trying to tell a human right now, that does make sense. We have the Two of Cups. It also is saying, you know, divine counterparts, you're not going to probably get a chance to go ahead and go meet one if you stay stuck on one that you already met. And maybe there's more than one anyway. And maybe we shouldn't invest 5 years and 10 years in thinking about a relationship that isn't currently in our lives. An animal would never sit there and say, well, I'm going to ponder over this meal that I just ate and, keep thinking about it and thinking about it. They would say, yeah, but I'm going to be hungry again. So I should probably go and look for the next meal. I'm not saying people are snacks. I'm just saying relationships, the nourishment that we get from sharing energy with another person and getting a chance to collaborate or have community with another person, that is a form of nourishment. And I think the animal is saying, don't starve yourself of nourishment, of companionship. Don't starve yourself of that. It's okay. You don't have to sit for 5 years and evaluate your last relationship and thus starve yourself out of your next meal. Move forward. 11 you Angel. Thank you so much. He's such a doll. Thank you, babe. Always so incredibly kind. It's nice. It's nice to see this. Also, with the ducks here, we always say, we see ducks calm on the surface of the water and then underneath they're paddling like hell. I think the spirit animal is also saying, remember, life is pretty tough, but it does make it more fun to have somebody paddling next to us. Think of people that are in a rowboat and they're all rowing together. Well, they go a lot faster. Sure, you can stay afloat yourself. You can be a lone kayaker, but a team of people rowing or two people in a boat, sorry, now I'm hearing stroke me. Sorry. And now my brain is jumping to the Strokes as well. Love that band so much. Unrelated to the song Stroke Me, of course. But, that song is just coming up because of the word stroke, of course. But now I think of the band, The Strokes. And again, Julian Casablancas on his own is an incredible singer, incredible musician. And then you add in additional talents around him and, you have a band, you have an entire group event. And I'm not saying it's better with or without, but I'm saying probably, you get additional sounds when you have additional people playing additional instruments, right? So you can bring one idea of, a songwriter can write a song, but if they have a whole orchestral sound in their head and they need 5 or 50 other musicians to help flesh out that piece of music, it gets better with others. And so why sit there and be hungry and cheat ourselves out of the other people that could add more layers to our life? I know, it's nice for the animal to be simplifying things. Whoever the spirit animal is seems to be I'm picturing a very wise old, maybe a sturgeon or something, right? Sturgeons live for a really long time. They're one of our most prehistoric. Although I think I just thought there was a shark that was 300 years old. But I'm picturing this as a very wise spirit animal. I'm not saying maybe it's a sea turtle or something, but something that lives a long time is what this feels like. That has this perspective. Although maybe I should say this spirit animal in this storyline would be one that lives a very short span of time, like a butterfly or something, because it's all about just keep living, just keep moving on. Just, the earth doesn't stop. The seasons don't stop. The wind doesn't stop. Everything's changeable. So go with the flow a little bit more. Don't get too stuck trying to figure everything out. Just keep living. Um, so we have got like a very lovely energy of the Empress coming in next. And it did come in the reverse. And I'm going to show it in the upright though, because we have her on a motorcycle looking next or looking at a bighorn sheep. And of course, bighorn sheep are freaking amazing, right? Are they the ones who can climb like up rock cliffs where there's like this much space for their little hooves? And somehow these hooved animals can like do anything. That's how this comes across, is like we've got somebody that would be able to do almost anything, and it's definitely a nice time to like laugh and enjoy and take that inspiration. I feel like there are mountains to climb, but if our character gets stuck too much on one thing, they may never learn that they have every skill set that they need. They can do the unthinkable, they can do the unimaginable, but not if they think I'm probably not going to be good enough to do that. I don't see our character being able to move forward in life. It's almost like somebody has been disempowering themselves, thinking one thing didn't go well, so now I question my my competency as a whole. And this is like, darling, you can literally climb mountains that don't seem to have footholds, but you can do it, but not if you start to say one thing in life didn't work out, therefore maybe I'm going to suck at many things. It's nice to see this much support coming through, and this much like grounded, realistic, and simplification of a message, I think. We've got the Seven of Pentacles and we've got the Nine of Swords in the reverse. Again, really nice. Seven of Pentacles sideways. It's the reminder that every day we'll have some kind of a lesson in it. Every single day we'll have some kind of something to learn. And a lot more value that we can get out of an experience. We have like a sheep here. And of course, you know, I'm thinking about the sheep's wool and the fact that we can turn that into clothing that is imperative for us humans, because we're kind of, I know we're apex, but on the other hand, we're kind of also some of the weakest links, right? If we don't have clothes on, we can't tolerate just the natural world, right? We don't have a barrier to protect us from anything. We don't have thick hide like animals. We don't have warm fur or wool to keep us warm. We can't just survive out in the open. We're not equipped for that. What we have going for us is our hands, our opposable thumbs, and our brain. You take those two away, and we are at the bottom of the food chain, I think, anyway. So thankfully, we were gifted with brains and thumbs. But without those two, we're not really equipped to deal with life. The elements. It's a good thing we can build shelter for ourselves. It's a good thing we have brains. It's a good thing we can figure stuff out. But it just says we're actually still underperforming too. There's so much more that we're going to continue to learn. So to think that we've got it all figured out, or that we are supposed to get it all figured out, this might nudge us to believe maybe we'll never have all of the lessons. So quit stressing out about what we don't know. This is a little bit of nudge toward maybe there's reincarnation and we get many more lifetimes. Maybe that Seven of Pentacles represents, hey, if you don't get it in this lifetime, you don't get all the things figured out that you want to, don't worry, you'll come back again. You get more chances. But in this lifetime, you got plenty of time to keep working on stuff. But if you think you're going to arrive at completion, forget it. Forget it. There's too much to know. And the world is too big and there's too many lessons. And one of the things that hampers us, even though it's also maybe our greatest asset, is that big old brain of ours. Man, we can learn so much. I don't know. It just says that because the sheep's wool is here and she's not even using it, it says there's so much more that we probably won't even tap into in this lifetime that we could access. Maybe this is the nudge toward more spiritualism, or using more of our brain, or thinking about things in a more abstract concept. But it just says, darling, you're already doing great, but don't put so much pressure on yourself to get it all figured out. Just keep moving forward. And don't stress too much. There isn't an amount where if you can just figure out the next 3 lessons, then ta-da, you'll be perfect. You're already perfect. You're already doing your best. But don't run out of the idea that this is every day should be fun, and every day is just more that we get to like add into our repertoire of life experiences. And maybe if we could look at life that way, and particularly look at love that way, and not get hung up too much and be able to move on and meet new people and love other people in our lifespan, instead of getting stuck on the idea that if I had one person and things didn't work out, then A, I failed, or B, maybe there's no one out there for me. The spirit animal is like, there's lots more people out there for you, and you best get moving and start enjoying your life more. Be a little more lighthearted. Don't stress out so much. You're never going to know it all, but you're not here to know it all. You're here to enjoy it. I really like this one. Amanda Curry, thank you, Angel. Thank you so much. You are so sweet. So sweet. I am so grateful to everybody that suggested this storyline. I feel like this was one of the nicest, most refreshing, most peaceful storylines I think we've seen in a long time. And we never know what's going to come out, in these stories, but that was really nice. Do we have any final wrap up? Anything that will say the spirit animal wants from us? Let's ask that. Or the pet, pet, spirit animal, however we want to look at this. Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Swords here. And it's kind of cute because we have this very stubborn little dude here. They want to go outside more, and they want to be able to sit outside and be left outside a little bit more. Walk outside with me more. I said I didn't want to come in. I don't know if somebody's got like a barrel-chested dog, or like come on, this could be Aries, for goodness sakes. My dog is, a blue heeler, so he's very barrel-chested, and lots of times I call him things like buffalo and pork chop and tatanka and things because he's such a little slab of muscle. But it's just cracking me up because I don't know if somebody has like a pet, or if their spirit animal is something more barrel-chested and stubborn, or if they have like a pet. Like I said, my blue heeler is very stubborn. But they're standing here insisting, I don't care if the weather's good or bad. It's better to get outside. You should get outside with me more too. Yeah, we got a nice house. Yeah, indoors is nice, but put on a coat and come outside. You got to come look at the moon more. You're going to get more value. Stay connected to the earth and come outside with me. And this spirit animal seems to be very stubborn about that. Get outside no matter the weather and enjoy being in nature, which is kind of a nice message also. I could see why an animal would be stubbornly insisting. You'll be a better human if you spend more time. Oh God, there's a great song by Coco Rosie, and I want to live amongst the animals. But it could just be saying exactly that. You'll have a much better time if you come outside with me more. Or think about your spirit animal more when you're outdoors, when you're touching grass. And it says, even at nighttime, step outside and look up at the sky. Make that a night habit every single night. Step outside, someplace safe, obviously, and remember what the sky looks like on a rainy day. Oh, I'm not gonna go outside at all today. And the spirit animal says, get your butt outside and remember what the wind feels like. Remember like how cleansing the rain can feel. Get outside and stubbornly enjoy connecting to nature. That's as much a part of your life as the big old brain of yours. It's very stubborn, and I think it's also it has a really good point, or the spirit animal has a really good point. All right, I have no idea what spirit animal was primarily talking, because I would just say it was we'll say the energy of the animal kingdom is perhaps a better way to say it. Flower, you sweetheart, thank you so much. Thank you. You're so generous, you guys. So appreciate each and every one of you. Again, maybe that's awesome. Your familiar is your boxer who's built like a box. That's so cute. Flower, it is very much my pleasure, although we really have to thank everybody else that suggested this. I think we've only done one other message from the animals, and we did that on Tarot Dog once upon a time, probably like about a year ago. And I've never done it here on this other one of my channels. And so you guys requested it, and I'm really delighted that you did, because it was a really kind of a heartfelt message. So I really thoroughly enjoyed this. So I have to say thank you again to everybody that suggested it. If you guys really like this one, if you want me to integrate this in, maybe a once a month check-in or something, I'm going to turn on the comments on this video. If you guys like it and you want this to be monthly, let me know. You can, whatever, say animal if you want. And that's what I would think about, is maybe bringing it in like once a month, if you guys would like that. And if there's, even a cluster of you, there's no difficulty. I can throw that in once a month. So maybe we'll try to make it a routine where we pick a day of the month and make that a consistent thing. So I'll just put it on my calendar and do it that way. Because I have to say, this was really nice and it simplified so many things. So, all right, you guys, lots of love. Caitlin B, thank you again. T, welcome, sweetheart. Just one Sparks. So good to see you. Ahoy, matey. Flower and Amanda Curry and 11-8. Thank you again so much, everybody. That was so incredibly generous. Tara, thanks again, honey. And Muds Moiki, hi. Martha, the Dreamer Stocks. Hello, darling. And hello. Yell, Ruben. Always a pleasure. Oh, 11-8. Your spirit animal is a Buff Orpington chicken named Butters. That is so sweet. Chickens are amazing. They're so like prehistoric too, aren't they? Feathers and scales. We raised chickens, so I'm very familiar with the Buff Orpingtons. Beautiful. We had black Orpingtons as well. A lot of Brahmas. We had silver spangled Hamburgs. I never really was like into the Selkies, but we got a whole bunch of them, or Silkies rather. I was a real fan of the Banties, little Bantams. I had some Japanese Bantams at one point. But yeah, I was raised with chickens. We had like a flock of 200, and we had so many different breeds. So the Lockenbelders were pretty cool too. But yeah, thank you for making my brain think about chickens, because they are really nice. All right, you guys, lots of love. Bye for now.